I'm not defensive about it.
Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another live stream and welcome to all your latest Chelsea transfer news. And of course, welcome to Matchday. It's game week 2. Not game week 2, sorry. Matchday 2 of the Club World Cup. Chelsea play Brazilian side Flamengo tonight. But before then, chat, we have got loads and loads to dive into. Big up to everyone that's really locked in. Smash the like, subscribe if you're new around here. All of that good stuff. You lot know exactly what to do. And in today's show, guys, packed as always with the latest on the future of Noni Madueke, with Arsenal believed to have the England international on their radar, although Enzo Maresca has shut down any speculation of an exit, saying that he considers Madueke to be a Chelsea player next season. We have got the latest on the pursuit of Joao Pedro as well, with Chelsea having made an approach to the Brazilian international. And Sam Jewell, who we recruited from Brighton, he signed Joao Pedro to Brighton. And according to ESPN, he likes the idea of being reunited with the 23-year-old at Stamford Bridge. We have also got news on Petrovic's future, with Monaco said to still be interested in a move for the goalkeeper. And there's been reports from Italy saying that Chelsea, along with Arsenal, have reignited their interest in Juventus winger Kenan Yildiz. So there is plenty to dive into, as always, chat. Plus the latest on Mark Guehi and Fabrizio Romano reporting that Frankfurt may be about to reduce their price for Hugo Ekitike. So before we get into the show, though, chat, as always, the quick reminder, make sure you check out Jersey's FC Soccer Shop. 20% off using code BLUEBROTHER. Link is in the description. As you can see here, I've got one on sent to me by the guys over at Jersey's FC Soccer Shop. Great quality, affordable prices. Get name, number, patches, whatever you want on the back. Make sure you're looking fresh for the new season. 20% off using code BLUEBROTHER. Jersey's FC Soccer Shop. Link is in the description. Now, that's enough of that chat. Let's say hello to a few people, and then we will get this show on the road. What are we saying here? PSG lose to Botafogo. Yeah, they did, although I don't think it's a total disaster. Yeah, we're going to get into the Guehi stuff. Liverpool looking at Guehi now as well, which is a bit of a concern. I would sell Madueke if we upgraded. Sure, but it's a big if, as we discussed yesterday. Madueke doesn't really suit red. No, I hear it. Get Kudos. Yeah, I mean, I would be up for Kudos. Yes, big up, brother. Big up. Hope you're well. Smash the likes. Yes. Run him up. Yeah, he extended his contract. I mean, he's never going to play for us, so not something I pay too much attention to. But yes, he has signed a new contract and gone on loan to Bolton. Yes, big up. No, I'm not. Unfortunately, I mean, I kind of wish I was now, but no, I'm not in America. I am in the UK. No, Liverpool haven't got Guehi. We haven't fumbled anything as of yet. They are just reportedly interested in signing him, probably as a replacement for Jarell Quansah. But as we'll discuss later on, chat, I'm not sure Guehi in a World Cup year is going to go somewhere where he's going to be a third choice. And that's what he'd be at Liverpool. But anyway, let's dive into it. Let's start with the Noni Madueke news, because we had a bit of a heated discussion on the show yesterday about Madueke, and then we had stuff last night from Matt Law, an exclusive from him. Noni Madueke is on the radar of a host of clubs this summer, including Arsenal. He's not, this is key here, chat, he's not been put up for sale by Chelsea and has not been offered to clubs. But rivals believe he could be sold this summer, as he's not considered to be untouchable. Well, I hear that. However, only 3 players are deemed untouchable at Chelsea: Reece James, Moises Caicedo, and Cole Palmer. And that is from reports themselves. Those are the only 3 players, according to reports, who are deemed untouchable at Chelsea. Untouchable. So, you know, ultimately, if the price is right, anyone's available. Cucurella, I don't know if he goes into that category or not, but when there's been reports on who's considered untouchable at Chelsea and who isn't, those are the three names that are mentioned. Yes, big up, brother. Big up, big up. To be honest, I don't know why there's so much hate for Madueke. I really don't get it. Do you know what I'd also question, by the way, chat, on a separate note here? We're in the middle of a tournament, right? Club World Cup. Madueke, whether people agree or disagree, is going to play a key role, given we've only got 3 wingers. Who is giving this information out to Matt Law to then publish in the middle of a tournament? Who is giving him that information? Is that coming from Chelsea? Is that coming from a club source? Is that coming from people close to Madueke? Is that coming from Madueke's camp? Because the last thing you want when you're prepping for a tournament, you're in tournament mode, you know, as a tournament you want to win, and a player who is going to play a key role, given the lack of numbers we've got in those wide areas currently. Who on earth is leaking that? Who's leaking that out there? Because if it's the club, it's a really poor look. And if it's Noni's people, then it's an equally poor look as well. Why is transfer rumours coming out about Madueke mid-tournament? I don't get it. I don't get it. Look, I think Madueke has got unbelievable potential. I think the big thing is, you said that Madueke's output's poor, right? But it was better than any other wingers last season in the side. So you want to get rid of Madueke, but and you cite that his output's very poor, but his output was better than Pedro Neto. His output was better than Jadon Sancho. His output was better than Tyreek George. So are you saying that, do you want to sell Pedro Neto then? Because Madueke's output was better than Pedro Neto's output last season. So based on that, you want to sell him, do you? Do you want to sell Pedro Neto as well? Please let me know. Do you want to sell Pedro Neto? Because his output was worse than Madueke's. So please do let me know. Yes, run the likes up, people. We're almost 100 in the building already. Only 20 likes. Not good, chat. Not good. Run it up, run it up. But chat, I've said this many times, by the way. I'm not saying that Madueke should be a starter every single week. Far from it. Far from it am I saying that. But he should absolutely be a squad player. He's good enough to be a squad player. You know, he was a key player for us last season. A key player for us last season. He made 41 appearances in all competitions. He had the most output out of any of our wingers. Now, whether that means, you know, he was really good or the others across the board were poor, it's a bit of both. He was the best of a poor bunch last season. You know, this is what people don't realise, right? Is that very rarely means that. You know, football's never black and white, transactional like that. It's never a case of, oh, if you sell Noni, it 100% means you're getting Mohamed Kudus. Obviously, if that was the case, then sure. I think a lot more people would be on board with it if that was the case. But I think we all know, chat, that isn't the case. We all know that's not the case. You have to measure it by the team you've got now. There's no point measuring current players on players we used to have in the past. There's no point in that. Absolutely no point. %, Jimmy. 100%. We've literally got other than the manager that played him 41 times last season. Okay, cool. But no one trusts him, though, other than the only person that matters to trust him, and that's the manager. So, yeah, interesting there. Interesting comments there that actually no one trusts him other than the only person that actually matters in terms of trust, and that's the manager. Yeah, some of them definitely do. Now, we don't know whether this has come from club source or Club source or from Madueke, but given it's Matt Law gets a lot of stuff from Chelsea, so I would suspect that this could well have come from someone within the club, but he's obviously got permission to run the story. Yeah, I've got James on the back of this one. No, George is not ready for the Premier League. No chance. Absolutely no chance is Tyreek George ready for the Premier League, chat. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No, he defo isn't ready for the Premier League, guys. For sure not. It didn't have to use Madueke as much as he did. There was Mudryk at the start of the season. There was Neto. There was Sancho. So he didn't have to use Madueke. Could have used Nkunku wide. Everyone tells me, oh, Felix could have played there. So let's not play that card. He only played him because he had to. There were other options there, and he chose to play him. So this idea that no one trusted him is just not true. Look, he's an interesting option. I don't really know if he's ready for, what might be considered a top club. I don't think so. But look, Madueke's not been offered out to top clubs. I honestly think he's got top level potential. The issue is, I'm not entirely sure, chat, if he's got the mentality to reach his full potential. I'm not sure he's got the mentality to reach his full potential. However, what I would say is there is absolutely no point selling Madueke if you're going to sign Jamie Gittins as a replacement, or you're going to sign Gittins or Fofana or Garnacho. There's no point selling Madueke if two of those players are coming in to replace him. Completely and utterly pointless. Completely and utterly pointless, chat. Yeah, and again, this is mad. I don't know if fans have just deluded themselves into thinking that our transfer strategy is going to change, knowing full well if Madueke's sold, it will be Gittins, Fofana, or Garnacho will be coming in. Who none of them are better than Madueke right now. None of them. So you are actively downgrading your squad in the short term and making it worse. I mean, Prem Talk, that is utter garbage from you. Complete and utter nonsense. How on earth has he regressed? He's become an England international. How on earth is he? If you don't like him, fine, but let's not make stuff up. How on earth has he regressed from the player he was at PSG? He's gone from being a regular at PSG to a regular at Chelsea and now a full England international. But apparently he's regressed since he was at PSV. It's just nonsense. Utter nonsense. Yeah, we will. And then if Madueke goes, it'll probably be a Fofana or a Garnacho, which is no better than what we've got, chat, which is the exact point that I'm making. I'm concerned about our winger options because we need first team starting quality. We need first team starting quality. I've got no issue with the current wingers, let's be real, should be squad options. Neto is probably a squad player at a top club like Chelsea, and so is Madueke. I haven't got an issue with them being squad players. My issue is that they're regular starters, and we need starting quality to come in, and the names we're linked with aren't any better than what we've got. And that is a problem. But equally, another problem is, chat, is that the left winger market is poor. The left winger market is poor. Esteval will get minutes next season, but he's not going to come in and be an instant starter like people think he is. He's not going to come in and be an instant starter, chat. I'm not getting into this Esteval conversation again. If you honestly think that Esteval, 18 years old, that Chelsea are just going to chuck him in at the deep end and expect him to contribute from day one, and that he's going to step up and deliver from day one, then there's this delusion. I just don't know where people get this idea from that Madueke, that Esteval is going to come in and tear it up from day one. Of course, we'd all absolutely love that, chat. We would absolutely love that. We'd absolutely love it. But the reality is that that's unlikely to happen. It's unlikely to happen. He'll start some games, for sure. He'll get minutes. He'll be bedded in gently. But I would be surprised if he started 10 Premier League games before Christmas. Because we have to look after him. We have to look after him and bed him in. Again, never said I didn't believe in him. Never said he was a bad player. All I'm saying is don't expect him to contribute from day one because it's totally unrealistic. Totally unrealistic. Exactly. Everyone was hyping Endrick. Unbelievable. Barely kicked a ball at Madrid. You know, he's barely kicked a ball. There's plenty of time, but when are we going to learn to not constantly keep hyping these young talents up to be something that they're not ready to be just yet? When are we going to learn? You know, the problem with Lamine Yamal, who is generational and once in a lifetime kind of player, is that now everyone thinks that whatever youngsters at their club is going to be the second coming of Lamine Yamal. It's bullshit. It just isn't going to be the case. Yeah, they don't keep this times. They don't keep the same standards. They don't keep the same standards. If once they've got it into their head they don't like a player, that player's held to a higher standard than a player they like, even if said player is outperforming the one that they like. Bro, they can play both sides. Neto can play both sides. Madueke can be used on the left as well. I haven't. What part of? Please explain how I've disregarded. Please explain how I've disregarded. But what? So he's disregarded because I think it's unrealistic to expect him to contribute from day one. How is that disregarding? If I'd said, "Oh, he's shit, I don't rate him," that's disregarding. Saying it's unrealistic to expect him to contribute from day one is not disregarding. Exactly. How many years did it take Vinny to establish himself at Real Madrid? What, 2-3 years? Maybe a bit more. You know, even Neymar in his first year at Barcelona wasn't great. Even the great Neymar wasn't that good in his first year at Barcelona. And yet I've got Chelsea fans telling me that Esteval's going to come in and be unreal from day one. I just don't get it. Mark, let's not trot out this blocking pathway bollocks again. Why do people talk about this blocking pathway stuff? It was the same people that were saying, oh, we shouldn't sign a top striker because it's going to block Jackson's pathway. No pathways are being blocked. We're going to play over 60 games this season. There's going to be injuries. There's going to be fitness issues, you know? Like, there's going to be ample opportunities for Esteval to play next season. The idea that if you keep Madueke as part of the squad, that Esteval's pathway is blocked is just totally untrue. Yeah, sure, okay, that's fine. But that doesn't mean that he's going to adapt to the English Premier League from day one and hit the ground running. You know, he could do. I'm not saying he won't. All I'm saying is it is unrealistic to expect him to contribute from day one. And if you're building yourselves up to expect that, then you're probably more than likely going to be very, very disappointed. Well, look, he's not going anywhere right now. If he goes to Arsenal, fair enough. Fair enough. Whatever. All I'm saying is that people need to realise is that when we've got three wingers in the squad right now, and one of those is Tyreek George, who right now isn't good enough and needs to go on loan or could even be sold this summer potentially. And we've got people out here saying we need to get rid of Madueke as well. So let's put it this way then, guys. You'd be happy having, let's just say this for an example. Maresca wants 5 wingers in the squad. You'd say that you'd be happy with Esteval, Gittins, Fofana, Neto, plus a versatile option, plus a versatile forward, maybe a Kudos. And again, I'm not saying that Madueke should be starting every single week, chat. I'm not saying that. I've not once said that Madueke should be starting every single week. Yeah, I know. And they'll say, oh, it's because he's been there longer, so it's fine. But what people are saying is that they want to get rid of the winger who has contributed the most over the last season. And ultimately, as well, chat, is that Maresca trusts him. He played 41 times last season, 32 games in the Premier League, started the Conference League final. Yes, I know he was poor. But the idea that people in the chat think that with all the evidence we've got, the idea that people in the chat think we're going to go and sign someone much considerably better than Noni. Is delusion. Like, who honestly thinks we're signing someone better than Noni? If it was a guarantee chat that Rodrigo was coming or Kudos was definitely going to come in, then fine. But you're saying you want to sell him, and then the answer is what? Gittins or Malik Fofana, who aren't better than him right now. Could be better than him right now, but aren't. Please tell me who you think's coming in, because the ones that we're linked with, Malik Fofana and Gittins, are Malik Fofana and Gittins better right now than Madueke? No, they're not. They simply aren't. And you only have to look at the clubs that are interested in said players to realise. I mean, look, people can have their opinions. I just disagree strongly that Madueke is as bad as what loads of you guys are making out. I just don't think that. I think he can absolutely be a squad player. He can be a 4th or 5th choice wide player. I haven't got a problem with it. I haven't got a problem with it. But this idea that we'd be better without him, I think is fantasy. I don't think is Noni some unbelievable winger? No, he's not. But is he anywhere near as bad as what people say he is? No. Exactly this chat, And guarantee the same people that are bigging up Esteval, if he doesn't really contribute much over the first few months, will be the same ones saying, oh, he's overrated, even though in the summer they were bigging him up. It's a fickle world, football fandom. It's a fickle world. But I would expect him to stay. I don't know what sort of valuation there is on him. I don't really know what sort of valuation there is. And I also don't get the feeling that he would be looking to leave either. I also don't get the feeling that he'd be looking to leave. But sure, it's one to keep an eye on. It's one to keep an eye on. But I think it only goes anywhere if Madueke wants to leave. And I think it's also telling as well, chat, when you see the caliber of clubs someone is linked to. When you see the caliber of clubs that someone's linked to, that maybe tells you something about the quality of the player. Or the player isn't anywhere near as bad as what some people are making out. If Madueke's so bad, why do Arsenal want him? And we can banter Arsenal. I mean, we all enjoy it and it's great fun. But ultimately, Arsenal right now are a better team than us. We're closing the gap and we're getting there. But right now, Arsenal are a better team than Chelsea. Okay, that's not an outrageous thing to say. I think that's quite common consensus that Arsenal are a better team than Chelsea right now, although we are closing the gap and we're going to get there. And my problem with people that say get rid of him is, one, look at the clubs interested. That should wake you up that he's not just a player you casually discard. And then secondly, whether you like it or not, statistically, and I know stats aren't everything, but statistically, he was the most productive winger from last season. But you are entrusting the sporting directors to replace him with someone. I'm talking significantly better, chat. Because if he leaves, we need someone significantly better. People are saying, oh, Jamie Gittins is better. People are saying Malik Fofana is better. But they're not, though, are they? Let's be real. Are they considerable upgrades on Madueke? Are they considerable upgrades? Chat, answer me this. Are Gittins and Fofana considerable upgrades on Madueke? Please answer me that. I'm not asking about Kudos. I'm not asking you about Kudos. I'm saying, are Fofana and Gittins considerable upgrades on Madueke? Didn't say they were a better club. Literally said that they're a better team than us right now, which is true. They are. And that's my thing, chat, is that do you trust the club to bring someone better in? If Kudos comes in, fine. But there's absolutely no guarantees that Kudos comes in, chat. There's no guarantees that Kudos comes in. Well, I hope so. I hope that's the... Yeah, Gittins is coming regardless, chat. Gittins is coming regardless. But I just don't trust the sporting directors. And this is it. They're not upgrades in general. Yeah, I would rather Matoma because he's more of a proven quantity that is prepared to come in and make a difference straight off the bat. We both know we all know Matoma to Chelsea is not going to happen. But if you're talking to me, would I rather Matoma to come in as a Madueke replacement? Then, yeah, of course. But ultimately, Maresca himself has said that Noni is our player. You can read a lot of speculation, but we consider Noni our player for the coming season. And again, chat, I think the only way he leaves is one, if an offer of 50, 60 million comes in. And secondly, if Madueke actually wants to leave the club. And I personally don't get the feeling that he does want to leave, chat. I don't get the feeling he wants to leave. Yeah, but but these transfers never work like this. It's never a case of, oh, sell X, Y, Z, and then it's all sorted and it's all fine. Look, if you get 50 to 60 million for Madueke from someone, then fair enough. But I just personally don't see that. I personally don't see that being the case. I personally don't see that being the case. I don't even know if we'll get any offers. You know, and I think people are. I mean, Sterling's contract could be terminated. Sure. Sterling's contract could absolutely be terminated. But anyway, that's the latest on Madueke. He's on a number of clubs' radars this summer. Arsenal said to be interested. He's not considered untouchable at Chelsea. But Chelsea have not received an approach from Arsenal or held talks with their London neighbours over Madueke. But the North London club are thought to be among those to have looked at his situation. So let's wait and see, chat. Let's wait and see. But even if we do sell Madueke, we cannot be selling a winger before one comes in, you know, because then we'd get ourselves down to two. And look, if he gets sold, he gets sold. But if he doesn't, then you people in the chat will be getting absolutely cooked by me when the transfer window is closed. Mental receipts have been made. We won't forget, and I'm also prepared that I will get battered in the chat if that is the case. But the game is the game, chat. The game is the game. Guys, make sure you keep smashing the like button as well, by the way. Run the likes up. Subscribe if you're new around here as well. We're about 75. We're about 75 subscribers away from 17K. Let's get as many new subscribers as we possibly can. So please make sure you're smashing that like button, chat. Subscribe if you're new around here. All that good stuff, guys. Nah, absolutely not a Noni stan. All I'm saying is that he's good enough to be a squad player, and I'd be happy to keep him as one. Never said he should be starting every week, but he's good enough to be in the squad, 100% chat. Yeah, we are a little bit. We are a little bit slow on outgoings. No doubt about it. There's not really been any news. Not really been any news on that. But anyway, let's end that Madueke stuff, guys. And we are going to move on. Let's stick with attack before we move to the other end of the pitch. Because there's been an update on Hugo Ekitike. Now, this has come from Fabrizio Romano YouTube video the other night. Eintracht Frankfurt asked Chelsea for 84 million a few weeks ago for Hugo Ekitike. However, there's a feeling among top English clubs that Frankfurt may accept around 68 to 76 million for him in the coming days or weeks. Now, I imagine those top English clubs are the three that have been mentioned in connection with Ekitike: Chelsea, Liverpool, and Manchester United, chat. Even if there's a reduction in price, I still think, even if you got it right to the bottom, right, 68, let's put it in the middle, call it 70. Even that is too much. Even that is far too much, chat. Far too much. So yeah, you'd be looking at, really, you need like a 15-20 million pound reduction in price. I don't see Frankfurt reducing it by that much unless Ekitike pushes for a move. He's worth 50 max. I'd probably say in this market, 60. Given the way that the market is, I'd probably say 60. But yeah, you're looking at, we've discussed this before, chat. You're looking at around 60 for Kudus, Ekitike, and Pedro. They're all gonna be in that same sort of price range, chat. Same sort of price range. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what we're looking at here, really. Guys, we're 10 likes away from 100. Keep smashing the like button. It's free. It takes seconds to do, so run those likes up. Let's get it up over 100 likes, chat. But yeah, look, 60 million, I think is fair game, particularly in this day and age, in this market. I think that's probably fair. I know Chelsea like Ekitike. I know he's had a good season. He's got a lot of potential, a lot of talent. Out of the three, though, I'd probably have him at the bottom of my list. If it's between Kudus, Pedro, and Ekitike, I'm probably going in that order. I'm probably going Kudus as top choice, then Joao Pedro, then Ekitike. I just look at Ekitike and I think it's a bit of a gamble to sign someone based off really one top season in Europe's top 5 leagues since he broke through as a teenager at Reims. You know, PSG, it didn't happen for him. When he went on loan to Frankfurt, that first bit didn't happen. And then he had a good season last season. But yeah, Kudus would be my top choice, then Pedro, then Ekitike. Bro, Osimhen is not coming. You know, I'm talking realistic out of the names that we've been linked with. I would rather have a Kudus or a Joao Pedro. Yeah, I'm fully aware you don't. But I would much rather have Kudus than Ekitike. Much rather Kudus than Ekitike, chat. Yeah, of course. Bro, Osimhen's not coming. I think you're looking at 60 to 65 million, around that. I think 65 would get that. Ekitike is a 9, but he can also play deeper and off the left. But he is more of a number 9, which makes me think that we don't really need him. I think a versatile forward who could play as a 9 is more important. Look, if Ekitike ends up coming, fair enough. It's not a terrible signing. I just think Kudus would be better for what we're looking for, chat. I think Kudus would be better than what we're looking for. No one said Osimhen's not good, but Osimhen's not coming to Chelsea. Like, I don't know why people keep thinking Osimhen is coming to Chelsea. I don't understand it. He's not coming, chat. I'm not against upgrading, but I don't trust the directors to recruit massive upgrades on those players. They will sign players who are currently worse but have the potential to be better. That's my issue. If it was a case of sell Jackson and you get a Gyökeres or an Osimhen, then fine. But right now, we're not going to be signing players that are better than the ones in the squad. Not initially, anyway. Pedro's versatility is better than Osimhen. Is better than is better than Kudus's. I think Pedro's versatility is better than Kudus's. So we'll see, chat. But yeah, look, let's wait and see how this Ekitike thing develops. I'm not entirely convinced it would be the right one for us. If it happens, no problem. If it doesn't, then it doesn't, and we look to get someone else. I do expect it to be yes, run the likes up, chat. Run them up, run them up. Yes, as unproven players with potential. They're not going to go and they're not going to go and sign players who are miles better than those players currently. Bro, I'm not sure you've seen our recruitment over the last few years. When have we signed any proven players other than Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez? We haven't signed any proven players, chat. Yes, big up Brian. Big up Brian. I mean, is the KFC is that the home of the Colonel's secret recipe? The home of the Colonel's secret recipe. Potentially, we're going to get onto that in a sec. Yeah, to a certain degree, yes. More proven than a lot of players we've signed. Absolutely. Yeah, it has largely on the whole. It has, and then people are questioning me why I'm not trusting the directors to get in better players than what we've got, and that's why I'm hasty to say I'll just get rid of Noni or sell Jackson, because I know the way that we operate, and I know that what kind of players we're looking at. And I would say it's unlikely we bring them into we bring in anything better straight off the bat. So let's wait and see what happens with Ekitike, chat. Guys, keep smashing the likes. We're on 97 likes. Let's get this up over 100. We need to be getting up to 150, chat. We need to be getting up to 150. So run these likes up and keep subscribing to the channel if you're new. But let's get these likes up to 150. But let's move on. Let's move on to this report coming out of Italy discussing Kenan Yildiz. Chelsea have reignited their interest in Kenan Yildiz. Where are we? Let me just see what this article's saying. So, are in both Arsenal and Chelsea over Yildiz. Arsenal have both reignited their interest in Kenan Yildiz as they monitor his situation at Juventus. The Premier League clubs have reportedly re-engaged in discussions to assess whether a move for the player is possible in this transfer window. Yildiz is highly rated by Juve, who have made it clear the player is not for sale. Despite interest from England, the Italian club remain determined to retain him and have reportedly placed a valuation of around 100 million euros on the forward. It's understood that offers in the region of 70 million euros could be given some consideration, but for now, there's no indication Juve intend to sell. Both Premier League sides are aware of the talent Yildiz possesses and the potential value he could bring to their squads. However, despite contact being made with those close to the player, there has been no indication Yildiz is looking to force an exit from Juve. The 20-year-old remains loyal to the Serie A giants and is not expected to push for a move during this window. Juventus are working to strengthen their position further by offering Yildiz a contract extension that could tie him down until 2030 or 2031. This is intended to signal their commitment to the Turkey international and to ward off any ongoing interest from other European clubs. While interest in the Premier League remains, the stance from Juve is clear. Unless there is a drastic change in circumstances, the player will continue his development in Turin, with the Italian giants confident he will remain part of their project for years to come. Now, again, Yildiz, another top young talent, another from this generation that's coming through. That's coming through, chat. You know, this Turkish generation coming through with Arda Güler, amongst others. I mean, exploded is a strong word. Duran done well first off the season in the league. He's gone to Saudi now, and he's scoring a few goals. I wouldn't say exploded. Omarodion scored 20 plus goals at Porto in a weak Portuguese league. We could have done well with him. Yeah, I mean, look, this sort of thing sounds like a classic brief from the agent's camp, negotiating a new contract, and we want a pay rise, basically. Chelsea have been linked with Kenan Yildiz before, and it's not gone anywhere. I personally don't see a move for Yildiz going anywhere, to be honest, chat. I really don't. But if a new contract isn't signed, yeah, but Gyökeres has proven it in the Champions League as well, and has done it for multiple seasons, not just one. And the Portuguese league is weak, and that's possibly part of the reason why Gyökeres is not being looked at by a lot of clubs. Maybe that's part of the reason why Gyökeres is not being looked at, because Darwin Núñez banged goals in Portugal. Big money move to the Premier League. Didn't really happen. So we need to wait and see. We need to wait and see on that one, chat. We need to wait and see on that one. And I've missed the super chat from earlier. Apologies. Big up to Fred. Thank you for the donation, brother. Not left wing. No, predominantly not. No, I mean, Neto can play on the left. Noni isn't particularly a left wing, although he had a couple of good games on the left, but long term, I would agree. We do need an out-and-out left winger for sure. It's just a shame that market's so weak. Again, Enzo had proven it at the World Cup. And obviously he was performing to a high level for Argentina. Benfica, he played reasonably well. He's decent in the Champions League. But look, Portugal produces good players. The Portuguese league has got some decent talents and some decent players in it. But generally speaking, the Portuguese league is not considered one of Europe's top 5 leagues. It's not. It's the Premier League, La Liga, Serie A, Bundesliga, and Liga. Those are considered Europe's top 5 leagues, which is why Kylian Mbappe won the European Golden Shoe over Gyökeres, despite scoring 7 goals less, because his goals were worth more in the ranking system because he plays in Europe's top 5, in one of Europe's top 5 leagues, and the Portuguese league is not considered a top 5 league in Europe, chat. Yeah, a very, very interesting profile. Again, I'm not sure if he's definitely gonna leave Stuttgart or not. Maybe, he's angling for a contract extension or something along those lines. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, look, this Kenan Yildiz thing, I personally don't see us making a move for him. I don't see that personally, chat. No, I never said I didn't want him. I'm just saying that I would rather a Kudos than an Ekitike. No, look, if you have an opportunity to sign Gyökeres, you absolutely bring him in. But in terms of what would suit Chelsea better in terms of the squad makeup, then they probably look to bring in Ekitike instead because they believe in Delap and they believe in Jackson. But yeah, look, if the opportunity presents itself to sign Ekitike, you absolutely to sign Gyökeres, then in my opinion, you should be going to do it. You should absolutely be going to do it. Yeah, I got James on the back. Like Joao Pedro, I like him. I mean, let's get onto it. Let's get on to Joao Pedro quickly. There's been a little bit more information on him. Very brief update. Yes, here. So, Chelsea have made an inquiry for Joao Pedro, who's keen on a move to London. The Blues will face competition from the likes of Newcastle, who are keen on the forward. Yep, we know that. And then the other update was Sam Jewell, the club's director of global recruitment, signed Pedro for his former side Brighton for a club record 30 million, I think it was, from Watford in 2023. And he likes the idea of being reunited with him at Stamford Bridge. And this is why, for me, it makes me potentially feel like we're going to be looking at Joao Pedro seems more likely than Kudos right now. If you've got the likes of Sam Jewell and the recruitment guys sort of bigging him up. That's what we're thinking, chat. That's the thinking at the moment. That's what it's potentially looking like. So it is looking a bit. For me, based on this, it feels like a move for Joao Pedro is more likely than a move is for Mohamed Kudus. But we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, Chelsea, one thing's for certain is Pedro's definitely a target, and Chelsea do like him. They highly rate him. He's a versatile forward. He's good across multiple positions in the attacking line. He fits the age range at 23 years of age. So yeah, that's kind of that's kind of the situation. Yeah, run it up, chat. What are we on? We've passed 100 now. We're on 103. Let's get this up towards 150, chat. Keep smashing the like button. It's really, really important. It helps me out massively, and it takes seconds. And please do subscribe as well if you're new, chat. Run up those subscribers. Yeah, exactly. People seem to forget, right? Oh, not another one from Brighton. But ultimately, two of our best players we've got have come from Brighton. So, I mean, I'm not saying that if Pedro arrived, he'd reach the same heights as Cucurella and Caicedo, but he could certainly contribute. He could certainly contribute. I don't know. Possibly. Or I might be having some of the mates around to watch the game. So I'm not entirely sure if there is or not. I will obviously let you guys know. If not, there'll be a match reaction video after the game if there's no watch along. But Pedro's not going to cost 70 mil. Pedro won't be 70 million. Yeah, I hope so as well. I do hope that's the case. I do hope that's the case. But I mean, I wouldn't be confident of going back in for Mignan. It's a possibility. But yeah, we're gonna have to wait and see. Hey, look, Sanchez was poor. Is poor. No doubt about it. But the signings of Correa and Caicedo obviously outweigh that. Obviously outweigh it. But let's move away from the Joao Pedro stuff and let's look at the Mark Guehi situation, chat, because it's an interesting one, that, because Chelsea have long been linked with Guehi. We tried in January, decided it was too expensive. Guehi's out of contract at the end of next season. A lot of clubs are circling. It's a World Cup year. It doesn't seem like he's going to sign a new deal at Palace. Would Palace keep him for their Europa League campaign and then allow him to leave on a free? I don't know. As soon as Joao Pedro is completed, the fact that, by the way, Liverpool have definitely done a PSR deal with Leverkusen here, by the way. £34 million for Joao Pedro. 100% PSR deal with Leverkusen. 100%. 100% PSR deal on Leverkusen. With Leverkusen. Liverpool will activate centre-back options once Quansah leaves. Guehi's on the shortlist and appreciated by Liverpool as well as more Premier League clubs. Diamonde could be his replacement at Crystal Palace. Now, the same people that are saying that Guehi is shit in the chat, right? Why do Liverpool want him? Why do Liverpool want him? He must be shit if Liverpool want him. The reason why I don't think Guehi will go to Liverpool is because he's not going to be first choice there, because it's Van Dijk and Konate, and he needs to be playing regularly. It's a World Cup year. It's a World Cup year, and he needs to be playing regularly ahead of the World Cup. He's not going to be a first choice at Liverpool. So I personally would have to question why Guehi in a World Cup year would go to Liverpool. Now, sure, Konate's got a year left on his deal. Rumours of Real Madrid looking to sign him on a free. Looking to sign him on a free as well. Who knows? I mean, would it look, normally I would say, yeah, maybe that's a possibility if it wasn't a World Cup year. The fact it's a World Cup year, and I don't think if you've got a big chance of starting at the World Cup for England as one of the first choice centre-backs, I don't think that you should be. I don't think you should be looking at going somewhere where you're not an automatic first choice in a World Cup year. PSG are looking at Zabarnyi at Bournemouth. PSG want Zabarnyi from Bournemouth, chat. So let's wait and see what happens with that one. Chat, keep smashing the likes. Get this up to 150, chat. Come on, people. There's over 200 in the building. Let's run it up. And keep subscribing as well if you're new around here. We should try. We should absolutely be trying. Diamonde, again, I think there's a reason why teams perhaps aren't looking at Diamonde. I think there's maybe a reason why. But yeah, look, given that the centre-back market's not great, I also think as well that perhaps Chelsea, rather than an out-and-out centre-back, because a lot of people are saying that Mamadou Sarr is going to be a big part of the first team next season. I'm not entirely sure. We're yet to really see any evidence of that. But he's reportedly very, very highly rated within the club. And I get the feeling that maybe Chelsea are looking for more of a left-back / left centre-back signing than an out-and-out starting centre-back. And so that's where you get those links to Jarell Hato. Although apparently, according to some reports I've seen, Arsenal have offered him a 6-year contract. So who knows? Who knows what's going on there, chat? Who knows what's going on there? But it's an interesting one. It is an interesting one. I just think it would be very, very poor of Chelsea if we just let Liverpool go for it. If we just let Liverpool have a free run. You know, because if you are looking for another centre-back, there's not many better on the market for an affordable price than Mark Guehi. Not many better than Mark Guehi. Yeah, but I think Man City have been looking at him. And they could well go back in. Yeah, exactly this. You know, why are we just judging a player on height and ignoring everything else? Yeah, and he suits the system perfectly. Can play in a back three or can play in a back four. He's had a lot of issues. Scalvini's had a lot of injury issues. I mean, Scalvini's definitely a talent, but he has had a lot of injury issues. Chat. A lot of injury issues. But I think it would be really poor if we missed out on Guehi to Liverpool. I think it would be poor, chat. I have to be honest. I think it would be poor. Yep, I'm happy that's the case as well. I'm not saying that Trev's going to start every week for us, but more than good enough to play a lot of games and more than good enough to be a really useful squad player. And people go on about his height. I mean, Guehi's 6 foot. It's not small. And like we've got Tosin, who's a lot taller. Tosin's not that great in the air. Tosin's not an aerial colossus and wins loads of duels. Like, so this idea that you can't be good in the air unless you're like well over 6 foot is just pure fantasy and pure nonsense. In my opinion, pure fantasy and pure nonsense. Do we need Guehi? I think we do need a starting quality centre back, given the issues we've had with injuries to Fofana. I think we do. You know, we get Champions League football as well. There's going to be a lot of options. There's going to be a lot of rotation. Guehi would probably, I think Guehi would start for Chelsea. I think he would. Whether it's Guehi and Colwell, whether it's Guehi and Fofana. Yeah, PSG. Yeah, as I said, you know, Zabarnyi going to PSG. Yeah, signing a 5-year contract. Bournemouth and PSG have reached an agreement in principle for Zabarnyi. Details are being finalised, but he'll sign a 5-year contract with PSG in the coming weeks. So there we go. Looks like that's going to happen. Chelsea were linked with Zabarnyi at one point. But yeah, it never happened. Yeah, no, I said it before. Yeah. Well, I think we are, but there's not been an awful lot of updates on the situation. But I think that's it. We absolutely are. We absolutely are looking for a left back. But yeah, there's not been updates, chat. There's not been updates. I mean, Hato is the only one we've had any sort of links with, but there's not really been anything concrete there at all. Yeah, maybe he will. Maybe he will. I just think, like, in terms of the centre-back market, if you're looking for a starting quality centre-back, which I think Chelsea should be looking at, then there's not many better deals than Mark Guehi, whether people want to agree or disagree. And look, maybe it's not a priority right now. I would agree it might not be a priority, but if there's a chance that he's going to end up going to Liverpool and we might miss out, then it absolutely becomes a priority. Absolutely, it then becomes a priority. That's what I'm saying. It then becomes a priority. No, they're not. The centre backs aren't awful. Absolutely true. The centre backs aren't terrible. They're not terrible, but we could probably do with another starting quality centre back. We could probably do with another starting quality centre back, chap. That's the reality of the situation. We could probably do with another starting quality centre back. Tosin, look, if an offer come in for Tosin, I think Chelsea would sell. If an offer came in, look, I'd be happy to keep Tosin as like a fourth or fifth choice centre back. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know, chat. No, Guehi wasn't maybe the first choice. Sure, you know, we wanted Huijsen, but a lot of clubs wanted Huijsen, and he'd gone to Real Madrid. So yeah, I mean, let's wait and see how it develops. But if we don't move quickly, Hato could be gone, and Guehi could be gone if we don't move quickly, chat. So it's absolutely vital that we start moving quickly. Because targets could start to disappear. And and these are obviously big ifs, but if we were to miss out on a Joao Pedro, for example, chat, then where do we go from there in terms of a backup left back for Correa? Where do we go from there, guys? That's a concern, isn't it? That is a concern. No doubt about it. That would be considered a concern. Yes, big up, bro. We definitely need another centre back. Fair enough. Bro, Vega's done. Vega's done. Or the same Samuel Smith that's never kicked a ball for us. I mean, that would probably have to be the answer. That would have to be an option for us if no left back, if we miss out on Hato. That would be a consideration. Yeah, bro, you'll probably be waiting for the rest of your life because I think a move for either of those is distinctly unlikely to happen. Distinctly unlikely to happen. But you never know, chat. You never know. I mean, Leif Davis. I mean, I'm not too sure about that. I'm not too sure about that personally. But the Guehi thing's going to be interesting because I think now this is when things are going to start to gather some pace in terms of defenders and people just getting moving in the market. That's the thing. That's absolutely the thing, chat. Yeah, I don't think we're going to see him. I don't think we'll see him. We'll see Mamadou. We'll see Mamadou Sarr before him. We'll see the likes of Chalobah, Tosin, and all those guys before him. I'd be surprised if we saw Anselmino. Maybe we see him in the last game against Tunis if we win tonight against Flamengo. Maybe we see him in the last game. But yeah, generally speaking, like Anselmino is not going to be at Chelsea next season. He'll be loaned out somewhere. Definitely be loaned out somewhere, chat. Yeah, no, look, I haven't got an issue with Vega leaving. You know, he wanted to leave in January. That's up to him. But there's no, it is what it is, you know. But we do need to go and find someone else now. And that isn't the easiest thing to do. That's not the easiest thing to do. Chat, we're 25 likes away from the 150 target. Run up those likes. Keep smashing the button. It's free. There's 210 in the building. There's definitely 20 of you who haven't hit the subscribe, the smash button, the like button, sorry. So make sure the smash button, what the fuck's that? You haven't hit the like button, chat. So please run those likes up. Let's get this to 150. Yeah, keep subscribing if you're new as well. Almost at 17K now, chat. About 70 subs to go. So keep smashing that subscribe button also, guys. Yeah, Jorginho will play today. He will. Yes, big up, brother. Hope you're doing well. Yes, not bad at all. Not bad. Let's like the video, guys. Absolutely. So yeah, that's going to be an interesting situation. Certainly one to monitor. Certainly one to monitor. Sort of in the coming days and weeks, chat. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens. I mean, yeah, look, I think the Isak thing's very unlikely, but Wirtz, Guehi, Kerkez, yeah, Frimpong as well, they've signed. I mean, Kerkez and Frimpong and Wirtz. I mean, it's not bad at all, that, is it? It's not bad at all, that, chat. It's not bad at all. But yeah, look, I think the picture will become a lot clearer. The picture will become a lot clearer when we once a few players have left as well. It'll become a lot clearer. A lot clearer. But yeah, I mean, we don't really know what centre backs. We've got an idea at what centre backs are going to leave, but whether they do or not is another question. But yeah, I don't know, guys. I mean, chat, how are we feeling? Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully that's the case. But again, I'm not entirely convinced. Chat, how are we feeling about the game against Flamengo tonight? Do I think the lap will start? I think there's a strong possibility, yeah. Yeah, I think there's a strong chance. I think there's a strong chance the lap starts. But how are we feeling? You know, Brazilian side, South American side so far are unbeaten at the Club World Cup. Botafogo beating PSG last night. South American teams currently unbeaten at the Club World Cup, chat. This Flamengo game is going to be difficult. this Flamengo game is absolutely going to be difficult. I think there'll be starts for Liam Delap. I think there'll be starts for Andre Santos in midfield as well. I'm not sure there'll be a start for Mamadou Sarr, but I think, Santos and Delap, I think, have both got very good chances of starting. Very good chances of starting. But we'll see. We'll see. This will be a difficult game. This will be our hardest game of the group stage. Hardest game of the group stage for sure. These South American teams are difficult. Bro, I don't see the point in starting Caicedo. There's no point starting Caicedo. You start Enzo maybe, because he only played 45 minutes, but there's no point starting Caicedo. No point at all. Absolutely no point. Chat, 20 more likes. Keep smashing the like button. Run up those likes, chat. Run it up, run it up, run it up. Let's get those likes up to 150. We're 20 away. Still 200 in the building. Keep subscribing. Yeah, Porto lost to Inter Miami last night. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe he might go with something different. Maybe he'll go with a Chalobah. Maybe he goes with a Mamadou Sarr. But yeah, we'll wait and see. Yeah, I agree, Fred. I think that's got to be the one. That's got to be the one. What, the refs from Brazil as well? Fair enough. Yeah, Felipe Luiz has won a lot of stuff with Flamengo. And I think Flamengo, chat, are probably the best team in Brazil. I think Flamengo are the best team in Brazil right now. So yeah, that's going to be interesting as well. That is going to be interesting, chat, to see how that one goes. But yeah, they are the best team in Brazil, no doubt about it. They are the best team. We need a left wing more than a striker. Yeah, we definitely need a left wing for sure. I don't know, possibly, maybe. It's hard to tell, really. No, I don't think Santos will play 10. No. Really exciting young talent, and looking forward to seeing him in a Chelsea shirt. But again, we just got to curb and manage expectations, chat. We've got to curb and manage expectations. Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing Jackson on the left, the lap down the middle. But I think given the fact that Jackson started the game, I think he'll be rested. Maresca's spoken about rotating. So, yeah, I expect that to be the case. And, yeah, look, I think Penders is absolutely viewed as a number one. Yeah, Penders is viewed as a number one. Yeah, I to be honest, that could be more likely. That could be more likely. Although I think Andre Santos could start, or I think we'll certainly see him. I'll be very surprised if we didn't see him at all. I think we'll definitely see him. So we'll see, chat. We'll see. But I'm looking forward to it. I am looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing what we're going to do, guys. I'm looking forward to seeing what we're going to do. I think, yeah, I'm pretty certain he actually might be starting. I don't know if he confirmed he was starting or whether it was, there's a good chance of him making his debut. Let's have a look. Let's have a quick look. Because I'm pretty, it's definitely been said he's either going to make his debut or he's starting. I mean, let's have a quick check, chat. Expected to make his competitive debut. That doesn't mean that he's starting. That doesn't mean that he's starting. No, bro, it said he's expected to make his competitive debut. So it's not guaranteed that he starts, but he he could well. Yeah, there'll be a Santos debut today. I'd be very surprised if there wasn't. Bro, there's no alternative. There's no alternative, unfortunately. No, I don't think so. I personally don't think so on that one. I personally don't think so. Yeah, it is. Happy birthday to Super Frank. What a guy. What a legend. Yeah, although if we win tonight, it doesn't really matter. You know, whether Cucurella gets booked or whoever else it is, James or whoever. Yeah, I'd like to see Mamadou Sarr get minutes today as well, Morris. I'd like to see Mamadou Sarr get minutes. I personally wouldn't, no. I personally wouldn't know. But yeah, it's an interesting one, chat. It is an interesting one. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this game. I don't know how I feel about it. It's going to be a really tough test. It's going to be a lot more difficult than I think a lot of people are expecting. It's going to be a lot more difficult. A lot more difficult. It's going to be very difficult. I haven't looked into the permutations. Let's just focus on winning our games and shit, and then we can go from there. But no, I've not looked into the permutations of whether we can miss PSG or not. We just got to focus on ourselves. We've just got to focus on ourselves and get our own job done before we start thinking about who we might and might not meet. Yeah, I think it'll be, one goal in it today. Yeah, I'm probably looking at maybe a 1-0 or a 2-1 scoreline either way, potentially. I still expect us to win, but I think it's going to be a 1 goal in it. I think it's going to be 1 goal in it. Yeah, I'd love to see Delap score. Would love to see Delap score. I mean, I'm not really too fussed who scores, really. As long as we win. Yeah, he's done really well. He's done really well, Felipe Luis. I think he's won a lot of trophies there. And it's great to see former Chelsea players doing well in their managerial careers. It's really good to see. Really good to see. Yeah, I think obviously our levels will go up because we are facing a much better level of opposition, chat. A much better level of opposition. So I would expect our levels to absolutely go up. We're going to be rotating quite a few players. And it's going to be tough. It is going to be tough. Flamengo are unbeaten in their last 9 games, kept 7 clean sheets in their last 8 matches, and have won 5 in a row. So, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. No, nothing on Broja at the moment. He's expected to leave the football club, but there's no update on him. He's expected to leave the football club, chat, but there's no update in terms of where he might be going or what sort of price we're potentially looking at for him. So that's going to be another interesting one. That's going to be another interesting one, guys. But as Philip says, guys, keep smashing the like button. Run it up, run it up, run it up. We are on 137 likes. We need 10 more, chat. Well, 13 more. Smash that like button. Who starts left wing? I suspect the 2 wingers starting will be exactly the same as it was before. I suspect the 2 wingers starting will be the same as it was before. I think it'll be the same as it was before. No news on Chukwuemeka or Ugochukwu. I suspect both of them will be sold this summer. Well, sold or will leave on loan again. Chukwuemeka's currently with Dortmund at the Club World Cup. But yeah, I expect, sales or loan. Sales or loan for either of those two, chat. Sales or loan. Yeah, that's what I'm expecting, guys. That's what I'm expecting. It is going to be interesting, though. It is going to be interesting, chat. I mean, it should be a win. I mean, I haven't seen anything on in terms of George to Leon. I've not seen anything on that. I'm not seeing anything on George to Leon. But yeah, I mean, look, I think Tariq George needs a loan. And here we go, chat. Here we go. Just as expected, VfB Stuttgart have made Nick Woltemade a contract extension offer until 2029. Annual salary of €2.5 million instead of the €1.5 million he's currently earning. I suspect, again, other clubs being interested in Woltemade was a ploy to get a pay rise and a better contract. I'm not saying he's going to leave, not going to leave. I'm not saying whether he's going to accept it or not, but it's clear that was the angle being pushed. It's clear that was the angle being pushed, chat, that he was gonna sign a new contract. You know, how many times have we seen this game? Players linked with clubs and then suddenly a new contract appears on the table. We know how this game works, guys. We know how this game works. You know, we're fully aware of how it works, and it's peak. It's pretty peak. But yeah, I mean, whether Woltemade accepts this or not, given the fact that he literally joined Stuttgart, I think, last summer, I'd be surprised if he was quickly going to move on again. So yeah, it's the same with Sesko last summer. It's Woltemade this summer. I mean, look, the Woltemade thing I don't think was that strong. But yeah, look, we know how this game works, chat. We've seen this play out so many times before. We've seen it play out so many times before. Ex-player linked with move, leaked by player camp. Oh, suddenly new contracts appeared on the table. Can you believe it? Apparently, suddenly new contract appears on the table, chat. I mean, it's mental, isn't it? It's mental. So yeah, whether he accepts it or not, let's wait and see. But yeah, the game is the game, chat. The game is the game, and yeah, that's where we are. That is where we are. But yeah, guys, I'm not saying Woltemade won't happen, but yeah, it's maybe, I don't know, it's maybe looking slightly less likely now. It's maybe looking slightly less likely. But you never know. You never know. Maybe he'll sign a contract with a release clause in it. I've got absolutely no idea on what the terms and conditions might be in regards to that one. I've got no idea what the terms and conditions might be in regards to that. But yeah, obviously not totally ideal if we were genuinely looking at going in for Nick Woltemade. Yeah. Yeah, I think so as well. That's what I'm thinking is going to be the more likely scenario. That's exactly what I'm thinking is going to be a more likely scenario. Because if he has another good season, then Stuttgart will definitely be in line to get more money. They'll 100% be in line to get more money, and yeah, we'll go from there, chat. We'll go from there. But yeah, they'll definitely be in line. Final 8 likes to the 150 as well. Keep smashing that like button, and yeah, keep subscribing. Let's see if there's any other news. Any other news? Let's see. I don't think there's anything else. We know that Milos Kerkez is done to Liverpool. We know that. But in terms of Chelsea, yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see what we do, chat. It's going to be very, very interesting to see what we think about doing. I mean, they talked about wanting all the business done pretty much by the end of June. I don't think that's going to happen. It's going to go into July, could even go into August with some transfers dependent on our current situation and what happens. But yeah, long summer. Long summer ahead, chat. Long summer ahead. Yeah, I mean, the whole done by June thing was BS. I don't know why they put that stuff out there, knowing full well they're obviously not going to stick to it. You just end up looking stupid. So yeah, let's wait and see, chat. Let's wait and see. But yeah, we're going to round this one out here, guys. Need to crack on with the rest of the day. Big up to everyone who has tuned in. Greatly appreciate all of the support in the chat. As I always say, guys, can't do these shows without you, so big yourselves up. Appreciate all of the support. Guys, I might be back later with a watch-along. If I'm not, I'll be back with a match reaction video. So make sure you tune in for that one. Score prediction, let's go 2-1 Chelsea. Go 2-1 Chelsea. But guys, if I'm not here for the watch-along, I'll be here for match reaction video, so make sure you stay tuned in for that, dropping after the game. Enjoy the rest of your Friday afternoon. Enjoy the game wherever you're watching it. Guys, we'll be back tomorrow. It might have to be slightly earlier tomorrow. It might be 10:30 a.m. UK time, if there's enough news, chat. I might have to go live earlier because I've got a few things on. But stay tuned, people, for the content tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your day. Big love for the support. Smash that like button on the way out. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. We're 1 like away from 150. Smash the likes on the way out. Subscribe. Big up for all the support as always. Up the Chelsea, and I'm out. Peace.